Can I have some
shoutcasts? Generals, gentlemen.
Hello, Generals, gentlemen, game number 7 here. Today we are very, very excited. We are excited because this is actually 1.6. That is right, 1.6 community patch from GameReplays.org. And what that does is it gets rid of all of the really stupid, unbalanced stuff, or at least it nerfs them to a more sensible rate. Like, you know, Rockvies aren't quite as strong, you can actually counter them, instead of just it so being one-sided and really boring.
So today we have Micro up top is the USA Vanilla, just sold his command center, and down bottom also selling their command center Murder as the China tank. And yeah, 1.6 is so much better.
Yeah, that's right. We're probably going to spend the entire game doing this, just be going like, yeah, you wouldn't see this at 1.4, would you? Ha ha. Basically, I'll just mention a couple of things for it to make sense. Rockvies, they have less damage on the rocket troops, so you'll see a lot more tanks. You'll actually see like crusaders, you'll see, you know, battle masters, because they're actually good.
And as well as the fact that ambos no longer heal vehicles, so you won't be seeing any ambos with the Vs.
Yeah, that's right. They do still heal infantry, as well as they got a huge price decrease to compensate for that lack of heal. So anyway, I'll link you guys the patch notes if you want to have actually read through the game afterwards. So this right here, this is why we like this game, because USA has actually built a Crusader tank.
Instead of just building a Rockbee, because they are actually effective now in the 1.6 patch. So we see war factories from both factions popping out Crusaders up top and Gats down the bottom.
Yeah, double war factory from China, so there's going to be a lot of harassment on the sides. 2 Gatling tanks on either side. China's absolutely love doing that against USA because they can take down the Chinooks. So the Crusader does engage that Gatling tank, but the Gatling tank is a lot faster, so we can't run away from that.
And we also see a fire base being popped up from Micro up top, which will stop that Gatling tank rush. It should do right now.
Except he can abuse the minimum range, but no, not with a Crusader tank there. Yeah, trying to take down some Chinooks, but, you know, not enough damage there in time.
You see another Gat coming in for a bit of harassment. It'll do no good against the Crusaders, of course, so backing off there.
Yeah, the Gatling tanks, they can definitely abuse the faster movement speed that the Crusader tanks have and just outposition them, but they can't do so if, you know, they're just positioned really well beforehand.
I see a Crusader going down to a Battle Master from Murder.
Yeah, Battle Masters with a Vet 2 are just so much stronger than Crusaders, which normally actually take down Vet 0 Battle Master tanks.
We do see Murder taking the garrisons in the middle, chucking some rocket troops in there, stopping those Crusaders from moving through the middle.
Such an important thing to do is actually take these garrisons, because with those garrisons it's going to completely slow down any kind of aggression through the middle of the map. So it's quite important for USA to take these garrisons, because then they can't just balls out some Gatling through the middle of the map to harass those Chinooks.
We see no doubtless a Rockv and a Crusader, backed up by a Crusader coming in from the top.
Yeah, so it's actually mixing. Yeah. We have a Crusader and a Rockv against a Battle Master and a Gatling. It's nice to see some compositions instead of just spamming one unit. So the missile defenders ejecting to actually laser off that tank down. It's so easy to take out the Battle Masters because of how slow they are.
Yeah, so Battle Master will go down there. And here we have an engagement with Gats versus Crusaders.
Crusaders are such a good unit in this matchup because of how many Gatling tanks China is going to spam in order to try and take down some Chinooks. So it means that you can just get away with Crusaders to take down those Gatlings like a really hard counter.
Yeah, and we do see a triple supply from Murder taking the middle supply and defending it with his tanks.
But they do both have their armies here. If he can actually lock down these garrisons, then he won't be able to defend these supplies. But he's taking these garrisons. He really needs to hold these down and try and take this if he can. But that one has actually lost the health, so that's ungarrisonable.
And Micro will move in and take that garrison. That's going to do a lot of harass on the supply.
He's going to need a flame tank, otherwise he will actually lose this supply, which is going to be a pretty big blow.
Good work, Micro, moving in his Crusaders to defend that garrison, so the supply is getting taken.
Okay, well done. Managed to save one truck, unfortunately the other one. So we have some rocket troops now. The rocket troops are going to hard counter these tanks. Likewise, you know, as I keep saying, we keep seeing a mix now. The rocket troops counter tanks, tanks counter Gatlings. It's all this cycle, this circle of countering, compared to just spamming Rockvies that do everything.
Yeah, really good. 1.6 is much better. It's way balanced. Way balanced.
Haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
Alright, so having a massive army in the middle here, we have an ECM tank, so the prop tower did actually go down. Supply goes down.
Take down the garrison there, and he's going to.
If he can force fire that in time.
No. Supply does survive. That was a bit of a.
The garrison was still intact, and he built the empty scaffold, so he could have killed that if he was paying more attention. So here comes a Lotus now. Lotus is probably going to capture that oil. A lot of times you don't actually see China bother going for barracks to capture the oil, because they can just tech up and get Lotus to do the same thing.
Yeah, we're going to have a big engagement.
Search and destroy. Raptors! Oh my god, this is at 1.4. We have an airfield going down from the USA player.
Oh, good work. Yeah, getting those Vs out of the way because they are a bit more vulnerable now. Putting out some rocket troops to do some laser locking. That power will go down though for Micro. Big army push through the middle here.
I actually don't know why he got. Take that. Oh wow, take that down. Finish it off.
Take the power down, buddy.
As I was saying, I don't know why you got an airfield though. I mean, he did have a lot of Gatlings. Like, you know, they're good against helixes and tanks, but with that many Gatlings. Anyway, so they are engaging now. The Crusaders are taking down some Gatling tanks. The laser locking is ripping through these battle masters.
Even though not changed, they really should laser lock different targets, but it does look like the Gats going down. Gats will go down. ECM tank goes down. Yeah, this is going to be an easy engagement for Micro.
Yeah, unfortunately the ECM was actually auto-acquiring on one of those Crusaders, so he wasn't actually deflecting the rockets from that laser lock. So a bit of a miss micro there, but it's easy to do. It's very easy to miss micro ECMs. They do automatically acquire the targets. Lotus taking down that tank. Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough.
So many ECMs.
So too many ECMs.
Not enough
a really
actual
good mix
tanks.
here. Yeah, they're going to get locked down now.
Here comes the
Overlord coming in, but it's going to get there too late. Most of the ECMs will go down.
Yeah, 3 ECMs down. If he kept those ECMs with the Overlord, he probably could have taken down his army now. So Humvee is actually taking down some trucks because they're pretty exposed over there, but there are no missile troops in there. So here come the missile troops now. Good idea. There we go. Yeah. So now we can take down these trucks really easily with the rocket troops.
It's good. We do see oil capture down the bottom left from Murder, but no oil capture at the top from Micro.
Yeah, it's definitely putting him above in economy now that he has both
Lotus
these oils.
Yeah, Lotus is capping that top oil as well, so she will get there. Oh, Rockvy is being shot down by the ECM and will go down to the Overlord. Crusaders are moving in now. Watch out for that Overlord, buddy.
That many Crusaders, though, I mean, they're actually pretty strong.
They actually take it down. Because this is 1.6.
Yeah, so Overlords against these the Crusader tanks, it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. It's probably going to, need some more laser locking because even with ECMs, laser lock is still just absolutely strong against Overlord tanks. We see using the, what is it called, formation move with the Overlord ECMs to keep them together. For those of you who don't know, if you select a whole bunch of units, hit Control F, it'll put them in a formation, so everything moves at the same speed, which is really useful for keeping that formation where you need to have ECM grouped in with those tanks to provide that missile support.
Yeah, really handy, especially with all the Gats and stuff, which do move fast. They all move at different speeds. Control F is a really handy little micro trick.
Yeah, also with like infantry as well, it means you can keep the infantry keeping up with the tanks by the tanks slowing down. So the power finally goes down now.
They're going down now, and a fire base being popped up from Micro in the top
right.
right.
Lotus is running through the middle of the base here. Going to probably take out something very sneaky. The Raptor might be on guard mode though. He can probably take down the Lotus if he reveals herself. So many Crusader tanks now. He's having such an absolute balls crazy number of Crusader tanks because they are pretty strong against only 3 Overlords because the ECMs are not going to actually protect against those. Oh no!
Awesome 8 missile strike there, taking out I think a quad and like an ECM there. Crusader tanks engaging now.
The Overlords were absolutely so distracted, they're wasting all of their turret fire by removing their target. The thing is with Overlords is you can really just abuse their slow turn rate by things like spy drones and whatnot. I don't know what happened there, but I definitely noticed that the Overlords, they weren't facing, well not the cannons, weren't facing the Crusaders, so they were actually able to take down some of those Overlords without him reacting in time.
Hopefully we'll be seeing these ECM tanks shutting down the Crusaders now that they're not needed to counter rocket troops. Here we go, this is going to be the shooting exchange.
A pretty bad position there. Some people were in front here.
2 were in front, so he did lose 1 Crusader there. He does have a Vet 3 Crusader, which looks like it may get shut down.
That's a bad thing to do because the Vet 3 damage is so strong. Even more Rockvies now. The Rockvies are going to be very good at damaging out these Overlords.
Yep.
And
See some targeting, good. Oh, yep, goes down. Rockvie goes down. ECM tank is still surviving. ECM tank, stop, good micro
Gatling
there.
tanks were just ripping through the laser lock though. You definitely got to have the tanks in front of the rocket troops to take the damage from those Gatling cannons. Losing his command center now, that's going to be very prevent any more kind of support powers. The Raptor's still there, that could probably damage something, but the Gatling cannon would make that to do so.
Fire base is doing a lot of damage here, may take out that ECM, no, stays alive at the moment.
So Murder's definitely in a good position at the moment, because he does have both of these oils, he can keep up these exchanges, even if not necessarily winning them, he can still keep doing them because of the economic advantage.
As well as having the middle supply. He does have a couple of doses there.
So more laser locking Crusader tanks engagement now. Gatling does go down, as well as the repair, just saving that ECM. Fantastic work there, because keeping that ECM alive is so crucial against those laser locking missile defenders.
Oh, it looks like the ECM will go down, gets focused by the Crusaders. So this is going to be bad if he gets...
Well, the Raptor goes in. Well done, Raptor. Raptors are very strong against Overlords. The artillery strike went in, but wasn't actually enough to take down its buildings. Now the Crusaders are catching up these Overlords and taking them down because they're so slow. You can really abuse their positioning by catching them out when they're unextended. So he has another rocket troop now. He can really catch those guys out if he micros it behind the Crusaders. There we go. He realizes that. He moves it behind the Crusaders now, so taking all the damage. Laser Locking is going to take them down. No ECMs. They're going to absolutely rip through. Yeah, Raptor does die. Also, Gatling ripping through some of the Chinooks now. Oh, that's not good.
That's good supply harass, but these Crusaders are going to move in. They're going to take out the Overlords.
Yep.
Overlord will die, but there's another push going on down the middle from Murder, so he's going to move into the other side. But that fire base was really well placed. It's really going to hold off the assault of Murder.
He does actually have the autoloader operate on these Battle Masters, so now they're definitely a very strong force, especially if he can get the Horde bonus.
Here we see a bit of laser locking, likely going to take down that Battle Master.
Yeah.
Battle Master does go down. ECM tank not there in time.
I actually think Battle Masters are better against Crusaders than what Overlords are, just because, for their cost, you can they're not quite as easy to abuse their positioning.
Especially given loses a V there.
Especially if you get a Horde bonus, they just fire so fast. Oh,
really good harass, just distracting micro and managing to move in Gatling tanks to harass the supplies.
Taking down the Humvee now, fantastic. It was empty though. The garrison's going to be firing some shots at these tanks, but the ECM will completely nullify that damage. So meanwhile, I think Murder realizes the Overlords weren't really working for him. He just gets some more lower tier tanks. But he comes to Colonel Burton now. Colonel Burton could plant some very dangerous TNT. Let's see how that goes. Meanwhile, there is actually a push happening through the middle of the map though, so this could be interesting. You might not actually realize the Colonel Burton placing things on his buildings.
He's going to have some fun there, going to blow up that building. There we go, so that'll blow up. Good sell order, but it may not be in time.
Loses the oil.
Loses the oil, oil is going down, so good harassment on the
actually, lost the other oil. Colonel Burton must have taken down that one as well.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
Good Colonel Burton usage there. Taking down that supply as well. That's definitely going to hurt his economy now. He's lost a supply and 2 oil derricks. If he can actually hold out against this China push here, then he'll be in a good position at the moment. So he can do something there though. So he's got search and throw by the looks of it.
Yeah, I'd like to see some good V micro, which is still effective in this as well. It is still effective, just not as OP as it was in the 1.4.
You know what I actually want to really see? What I really want to see is composite armor. Where is composite armor useful?
Exactly right.
They actually got buffed in this. It's like 20% more health.
Tank armor is awesome in this.
So we have Horde bonus on the Battle Masters. That's going to be very effective at taking down those tanks. But there's so many rocket troops now. They might get run over by these ECM tanks. No, they don't. The laser ECMs are actually keeping the disruption alive. They're not locking down anything to really preserve that ECM
There's not
field.
enough Gatlings in here. We need to see the Gatlings focusing the rocket troops as well.
No,
those rockets are all over the place.
Completely getting caught. What is he doing? They're just standing still.
They're all going to die. He must have been macroing. Does lose virtually his entire army. That's Battle Masters, ECMs, all sorts of stuff there. That was a bit of a mistake there.
He could probably push now.
He could probably, definitely. I think Micro could push to win here.
I think maybe he's getting some rocket fees from his rocket troops, because you can really just abuse their speed and take down some of these outlying buildings.
Yeah, we also see a flame tank moving.
Crusaders, they're all mixed. Excellent.
That'll be interesting. Excellent choice, given Micro doesn't have a lot in the way of anti-air other than his missile defenders, which aren't actually with that army at the moment, so Mix could really rip through them right now. Here we go. Here's the Mix rolling in.
Black Napalm's going to hurt.
Oh,
Firebomb! Fantastic.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah, even as anti-infantry, the Firestorm is doing so much damage.
Ripping through those
tanks.
My god. Got at least 2, maybe
2 went down,
there.
almost
the third.
So now maybe these Battle Masters could actually hold back against all of these Crusaders here, because they are higher there. But then comes the missile defenders.
Oh
no!
Survives, moves behind the building to counter that, to counter the laser lock, but that's...
Airfield goes down.
Barracks is going to go down. This is really not looking good for Murder right now.
He could probably... Oh, he doesn't have a command center. Oh, he has a command center. He can maybe do a really clutch carpet bomb.
Handy right now. This is a really good push.
This is probably my favourite thing in the universe, is Vet 3 missile defenders. The laser lock is just absolutely amazeballs. I really like seeing it just tear assholes through things with laser locking.
So we see supply going down barracks, airfield, and power of Murder, where he could have pushed before. He just lost that entire army, and that's really bad for him.
Supply zones, nope, they've both got no secondary economy, so if definitely going to come down to these supplies.
Colonel Burton did suffer a fatality earlier, though.
missed that. Yeah, what happened to Colonel Burton?
Yeah, I think he died before. Excellent.
Oh, no.
Good A10 airstrike. Taking down the prop center. Excellent work there. Yeah, he's no longer down the bottom, so I think he did die eventually.
He just keeps getting in a worse and worse position. Now, not only has he lost all of these buildings, he has also lost his prop center as well. But I don't think that's that much of a big deal because he does still want to just pump out Battle Masters, but he can't get ECM tanks. So he could possibly really abuse this with more missile defenders, more Raptors to actually nullify the fact that there's no ECMs.
Yeah, we are seeing airfield going down from micro.
Taking down these forward garrisons, fantastic to do because he wouldn't have a barracks. Oh, he does a barracks. Well, he doesn't have flashbangs at least, so it's going to be saving him a big deal of hassle if he can just take down these garrisons before he garrisons them.
Micro does move his center Chinooks away so they don't die to the Gats. So that's good.
Artillery
And another
strike coming.
Colonel Burton coming down on the left. But yeah, Arty strike. Here we go, buddy.
Oh, no!
That is nasty. All those missile defenders, at least 2 Crusaders, 3, 4 Crusaders going down. Now they're just going to get locked down by the ECMs. That's an excellent Arty strike there by Murdo. Well placed.
Well, I think it's fair to say that artillery strike is probably going to win him the game. It's so hard to actually land an artillery strike against a person's army because you can hear it coming and then you go, uh-oh. Whereas with like carpet bombing, you can't actually hear it coming, you can only see it coming. So generally, you'll see artillery reserved for buildings whilst the carpet bomb is reserved for the vehicles.
Hopefully we'll be seeing some quick Gat tanks coming to catch up with this army because laser lock can do a fair bit of damage here.
Yeah.
Oh, we do see mines coming down.
Some pretty heavily vetted Crusader tanks though, so they're not better to deal with all these tanks, but the Battle Masters still are going to be better against them on even vet. So I think he's out of money though, because that's good, that's bugged out, so I'm pretty sure he's got no supplies left. Oh, a fuel air bomb! Oh, that's going to miss, isn't it? That's going to miss
that's going to get one, I think, yeah, just the ECM. Excellent
he needed that.
Murdering it away, he really did need that, otherwise, yeah, this is
Stealth
really
Bombers actually taking out the ECMs. Crusader's a tank, they're going to engage his Battle Master, but he's going to absolutely rip through the Battle Masters.
Battle Masters are nuts. Can you get that vet 3 in?
Oh, here comes the Gatling tanks
here
now.
comes the Gatling tanks. Excellent choice there, moving them in. Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Spectre gunship. If we can micro this correctly,
taking the Overlord.
Gone. Murder does move them away, but he's losing that Overlord. Yeah, Overlord.
Oh, there it goes. Down. There goes the Overlord.
Battle Master does survive though.
There's only 3 Battle Masters, and because these tanks are vetted because of those pilots, he can actually take them down. Because Crusaders are better than Paladins. Battle Masters, just because they have better vet, they win. If he can keep that alive,
no, he dies.
So there's only Gatling tanks now.
He needs to keep those pilots alive, so hopefully get one in that Crusader there and just move them in now.
Come on, Crusader
Those pilots are really important. Good job.
He probably can't damage them down on time because the Vet 3 is actually repairing itself if he positions it correctly. But he can just
move it out of the way. We should be seeing a repair or something like that from.
Oh no, Colonel Burton, have you been there the entire time?
He moved them there for like a couple of minutes ago, actually. Yeah,
no.
so he really should have moved into his base, and he could have blown up several buildings there. He really should be moving it right now. Just a bit too. Oh, here we go. What's
mines
this?
probably. That's mines.
Mines, small mines. That shouldn't be it. All right.
Oh, he's EMP.
Oh, EMP, yeah. Mines just went
missing
down
the Crusader tanks.
Bit unfortunate there.
So still, there's only Gatling tanks now against these Crusaders, and because of their vet, they can be so strong against Battle Masters. He's going to really need to probably get some listening outposts just for those rocket troops, because the Crusaders cannot take down missile troops. They can't run them over because of TNT bomb as well. So if he can keep these guys alive, because he's actually out of money at the moment, he can't get any more money because he's actually out of the supply. He's not got no supply drop zones, whatever they're called.
So if we can focus down these, manage to focus down these Crusaders. No, it does move them out of the way. That's pretty much what's keeping Micro in the game at the moment, is moving those two
Crusaders, yeah.
Crusaders were out. We do see a supply going down, but Colonel Burton taking down the supply trucks.
Denying that supply stash, that was very, very crucial because they have exhausted both of their natural supplies. There's actually long distance mining from the middle of the map. It isn't very effective, but still better than nothing. While we've got a moment, I wanted to explain before we didn't get a chance to. Stealth Bombers at 1.6, they have a modifier, which means that they will always one-shot ECM tanks. So you actually use Stealth Bombers to counter ECMs in this, whereas before there wasn't really a way to counter them other than just building lots of rocket troops and hoping they actually managed to pierce the ECM disruption. So he's going to take down the command center unless the Crusaders can actually defend against that.
Battle Masters with the Horde bonus are going to be okay.
It's not a priority. Oh, A10 strike!
A10 strike! Just out of the way, but doesn't do a lot of damage to those Battle Masters. You can move those Crusaders in. You can probably take out.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, field repair! Here we go.
Excellent work there. Great repair.
Completely nullifying that A10 strike. Fantastic.
One Crusader does go down.
He's got no money though.
He's got no money. He hasn't actually
sell some
popped out
buildings.
Another Crusader. He needs to sell that extra power. He's got too many powers.
Too many everything's really.
Yeah, really. He needs to sell a barracks. He needs to sell the supplies. The
No,
supplies are
there
making.
goes the Vet 3 Crusader tank, and with that, I think there goes the game.
Yeah, this looks like GG from now on. He really
Stealth
should
bomber.
have.
They're so bad against everything, but apart from base defenses and ECM tanks. But it's pretty funny from seeing them actually.
He really should have sold off those supplies. They were doing absolutely nothing. Then they could have gotten the money he needed to get some more Crusaders up. That Colonel Burton just leaving him there for a while was not smart. Yeah.
Where'd he go?
He's
still running
he's
around.
still alive, but he's just
You got this,
trotting around
man.
without
You got
losing
this.
places.
He's got this. He's Vet 1. He's
Easy.
not afraid of anything.
Can win the game with black
Apart
loaders.
from Gatling tanks, I think he's afraid of Gatling tanks. I would be if I was a dude. So Battle Master's gonna. Oh, here we go. He's laser locking. Probably gonna take down some Battle Masters.
Oh, good job.
Because they're just
If
way
we do
too
some
slow.
if we can see some individual laser locks, that's also helpful. Like taking out each one, like one troop on each.
Gatling tanks.
Yeah,
Here we
Gatling
go.
tanks, here we
I
go.
would like to
Counter.
see some MiGs, but
Yeah.
he can't actually. He's not in a position where he can do whatever he wants because there's such a low money game at the moment. Actually, if he can hold off with these missile troops, he might actually have this. I mean, there's only what 3 battle.
Yeah, no one has.
But
really
here comes
has.
a bomb of some sort. Couple might take out his infantry. Oh no!
Oh, that's.
Ooh, kills most of the missile defenders. He's got 3 left.
Bad. Nah, those
Rangers,
Gatlings
tank the
were
damage.
through.
Tank the damage. Laser lock each individual Gatling tank. Oh no,
Okay.
not in time. No, he must have been
Poor
guard
micro.
moding.
Yeah.
He obviously was trying to intentionally focus those missile defenders before the Rangers. Gatling tanks now are just going to finish off this airfield and stealth tank, and I think that's
that
it
will be
then.
GG.
Because no money. Oh, he has money left, but not really enough. Where's the Burton though? The Burton might still be able to defend against something. Burton's actually pretty good against vehicles if you manage to avoid their damage. If you're not paying attention, you can go through them pretty fast.
We just hit that 5 base doing a bit of damage, but really it's too little too late with Micro losing all his buildings.
GG.
Yeah, GG.
There we go. Well, that was awesome.
Really good game.
Yeah, we kept seeing like a rotation of the units. Like, one of them would build something and then they would change their tech to compensate for it. Like we would see Crusaders, so then to be Battle Masters, and then he would Rocket Troops, and it was this interesting dynamic of actually using different units. So yeah, I really enjoyed seeing like a different pace to what we usually see, because we're getting pretty sick of watching game just be so Rock V dominated.
Yeah, pretty much. I totally agree. 1.6 is so much better. I mean, just before you'd see, China versus USA. Okay, I'll build Rock Vs. Okay, I'll build Gat tanks. I'll build
that was it.
Rock Vs.
That was the entire
I'll build
game.
Gat tanks. It's
Anyway,
just all that happened. I just love to see this changing unit count. He builds tanks. I'll build Rocket Troopers. He builds Rocket Troopers. I'll build Gat tanks. It's what the game's really about.
So we are prepared to receive all kinds of flame and abuse for bitching out 1.4.
Have at us.
From all you hardcore clan war dogs. But I think the reason why 1.6 didn't take off, because it got released and people were playing it for a while and then people forgot about it. The reason why, because Clan Wars was really holding on to 1.4, people eventually lost interest, because that's where all of the actual competitive scene is Clan Wars. So without that, then there's pretty much no reason people play 1.6. But that's going to change soon, because we are actually getting a league open with the help of Relax. We're going to be getting a league is going to be having ELO for players, and we'll actually be changing it depending on victories and wins and stuff, which apparently happened before. I wasn't back then in those days, but apparently they used to run a league for 1.6, and we'll also be running tournaments as well. We're going to donate like a little bit of cash for some prizes to get some really awesome tournaments running. So stay tuned for 1.6. I'm going to provide a link in the description for the 1.6 patch to actually download and install this patch if you want to check it out. It's a lot of fun. We play on Hamachi as well as playing online. So stay tuned for next episode. Be sure to subscribe to our channel because you love us. Fare thee well.
See you later, guys. Thanks for listening.